Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For this video, I'm going to be telling y'all my life and just who I am in general, because I feel like a lot of people judge me, but they don't really know who I am.
When you coming out here?
You been come out here?
You know I'm a
Your ass drunk.
What'd you say?
So, boom, right? I was born in Uganda, and then I think the rest of my life, not the rest of my life, because I came in America as a refugee at the age of 4, 3, or 5, something like that. And so I came when I was really, really young, and then when I came in America, I stayed in Arizona for a little minute. And so I'm in Arizona, and I grow up there, basically like a good chunk of my life, maybe 10 years, maybe 6, 7, no, not 6, 7, after 9 years, okay, whatever. So boom, we moved to Ohio, and that's where my cousins stay and stuff. We moved here for my cousins and stuff, and so we staying over there. And around that time, I don't know, I wasn't really bad for real, but yeah, I was chilling with my cousins. We used to be cool. We used to just do cousin stuff, whatever. And so I think for a little minute I used to be in foster care too. While I was in foster care, it was hectic. I got so depressed over there. And so when I did get back from foster care, I started abusing my free will. I just started going crazy. Not going crazy, but I would just be out at night and stuff, just doing whatever I wanted. And I got a good group of friends. I used to have a good group of friends where we just doing whatever. It was just you feel me? And it was you only live once, so just do whatever you want to do. So we would just do a whole lot. And I will say it was never drinking or weed or none of that, because it was a African group. So we was not that bad at that certain extent, because I feel if you raised if you African, then you raised right. Weed and all that, you don't, that's not. So we would just the bad stuff was just we'll be out at night and just do whatever we want to do, go out. And I don't think it was necessarily bad, but except for the part that we would just be out really late, coming back at 12 and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, that point in my life where I was just doing whatever. I was getting into fights. I did fight my cousin. What else? I fought somebody else. I was getting into fights, but it wasn't really that bad. I was really just into drama, and I feel I was just doing a lot. I don't know, for a little minute I feel that was kind of what I was known for. Oh, it's Grace. I don't know, but yeah, that side. So early 2024, my daddy passes away. And it was crazy. It was not crazy, but I kind of, I don't know, that hurt. It did hurt. But during that time, I met my baby's dad, and I feel he was also filling those gaps in my heart, kind of healing me in the same time. I expected him to kind of heal me for my daddy's death, because it was you feel me? And then we also got into a relationship the day I buried my dad. So we get into a relationship, and we was solely, I wouldn't say I don't know about him, but I was solely depending on him for happiness. But also I was trying to just go out at night and stuff and just keep doing everything to kind of distract myself from just the pain and the hurt of losing a dad. And during the time me and him was dating, it was I don't know, when they got too much, and I attempted to unalive myself, and I was sent to a mental hospital. Not a mental hospital, but a unit facility where you stay there for 7 days. You do a safety plan and everything. So I was sent there for a little minute. And yeah, after I came back, there was a lot. There was my baby's dad, my boyfriend at the time was I don't know, it was okay. When you attempt to do stuff, I feel I wasn't seeing nobody else's side, and I was just kind of seeing my point of view, and I didn't know how it would affect people around me, my mom and my boyfriend at the time. And now that I really think about it, it was that was really hurtful and painful, but I wasn't really thinking about nobody else. And it was I just want to go. And I didn't really want to go for real. I took a bunch of pills, but then I went to tell my brother, and they called the cops, and I was hospitalized, and they had to take all of you feel me? So I was scared. I knew I didn't want to feel a type of way, but I knew I didn't want to feel a type of way, but I also knew I did not want to fully die. But yeah, so after that, we were still together, me and my boyfriend at the time, I don't know, it was kind of weird. But you know, I come back and everybody's a little nicer to me, you know. And I also like, I was kind of put on watch, like, you gonna do something. Like every time I would like freak out, it was like, oh, you finna do something to yourself, which okay, I understand. But you know, okay, me and my baby dads, we still, you feel me, dating and stuff. And I think early 2020, so we broke up for like a month. And every time we would break up, we would always get back together because it was like, I don't know. And I always felt like I just can't live without this boy. Like, but then we also was very sexual. So I feel like there was also just like a connection through the sex that made me feel like I could not live without this boy. So yeah. And so we would like sit and, oh wait, no, it was really, yeah. But yeah, so we broke up for that 1 month and then we got back together. And it was when I texted him, I'm like, yo, like, if we don't get back together, I'm gonna leave you in 2024. So we ended up getting back together early 2025. And February of 2025, I found out I am pregnant. And, you know, I call him and we're like, we gotta tell our parents, you know, we tell our parents, whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. That's a whole different story time. And so, yeah, like, I don't know, at one point, like, I feel like we was both happy about it. Like, okay, yay, we finna be, like, parents. And, like, in my imagination, I was like, we finna be a family. I don't think I ever, like, compromised it. But, like, during, like, my pregnancy and stuff, I was like, yeah, we finna be a family. No, I don't, like, now that I really think about it, I'm like, I wanted this man to be my man, but I wanted this boy to be my man. But it was like, I fully didn't understand, like, this is your baby's father. But, you know, along the time, like 3 months, you know, I was very emotional, and I feel like I also took that off on him. Sorry, but I took it off on him a lot and stuff. But, you know, it was really good. I feel like it was really good. Like, you feel me? He never had no pregnant girlfriend or whatever. And so, like, yeah, 6-7 months, we break up again. And I feel like that breakup, like every time we break up, I used to not take it serious because I was like, no, we can't break up. Like, this is fake breakup. Like, baby, we finna have a baby together. Like, there's no breaking up. And so, like, we would break up, but we would still see each other. So it didn't really feel like a breakup. And so I'm moving too fast. I think it was my sixth, when I was 6 months, that's when we broke up. And then like around 7 months, then we got into it, whatever. Fast forward, I'm giving birth at 38 weeks pregnant. So at that time, we was not on good terms. So I gave birth. My baby almost gets stuck and I almost have a C-section. He was not there for my birth, unfortunately, but my mom was there. So yeah, I give birth, blah, blah, blah. And then my baby's here, like, yay. I was like so distraught. Like, I was like, I didn't fully realize it. I was just like emotional after I gave birth and I was so mad. I don't know why. But so yeah, like I come back home and yeah, see, I got a baby now. So I get pregnant, you know, like I come home and I'm like, there's just a lot to my life. Like, okay, I come home and stuff and I have a baby, and I'm not going to talk about my baby's father at any point because I really don't feel like he wants to be like this. I don't think he wants people in his business. So like that, we're gonna leave it there. So basically, yeah, now I have a baby, and after I had a baby, it was like I had to make my mind up about just where my life was going for real. Like I had to like, yo, Grace, what is you doing with your life? So I realized like I gotta take myself serious. And throughout my pregnancy, when me and my baby's father would get into it, like I used to pray to God, and I used to like, God, I pray like we get together. Like I would only pray to God about like us getting together, but I wasn't really praying to God like about like, you feel me? So I had grew some sort of relationship with God. So when I came back, I was like, Grace, what do you want to do? Like I gotta get it together because I cannot just like, you feel me? I can't only go to God when I need him. And at that point, it was like, oh, me and my baby father was still not together. No. At that point, I did used to pray like, God, just pray you fix this. Like I really want a family. Like you feel me? I was solely, and I would say this, like my baby father and my dream that I had with him grew me closer to God, because that was what always pulled me closer to God. Like that was why I always sat in God's presence But I feel like God kept, like, he kept stuff the way they was for a little minute because he knew I would stop running to him if he made a way for the stuff I was praying about, like being together and all this. Like, God knew that situation had my heart for real, and so he knew, like, if I give it to her, she gonna stop running to me. And I feel like all of this just connects to how I got saved, bro. So that night, like, after I got my baby, like the couple weeks where I was home and I got my baby, I made a choice, like, God, I want to fully surrender my life to you, and I want to give it all to you, like, because it was like I was on and off with God. But I feel like through all the situation, what he was really trying to do is get my attention. Like, God was really trying to pull me closer to him, you know. And so one day I'm like, I want to fully surrender. And after that, I was reading my Bible, and I did not just go in prayer about my situation with my baby's father, but I actually started to seek God and seek what he wanted for me. Like, I understand, like, there's one thing to want something so badly to work, but if it's not God's will, there's always something so good that God could give you. Like, I had to realize, like, even if like my baby dad's situation is not the way I want it to be, I know that there's something greater that God could give me, you know. Like, the situation, how I want things to play out is not the best. That's not the best of the best. Like, God is incredibly, like, he can do bigger things. And I realized that. And once I had realized that, I kind of made peace with the fact, knowing that God is in control. God is in control of my situation. God is in control of my life. And I fully surrendered. I started reading my Bible, praising the Lord, and just praying over my kid and praying over me. And of course, praying for my situation and my baby's father and stuff. Like, I seeked God's will more. I seeked what he was calling me to be, you know, not who he was calling me to be with, you know. So, and after that, like, I got deeper into God, and I prayed to God, like, Lord, I wanna go to church, and God made a way. And after I found that church, it was like, okay, I want to be involved in a church. I want to actively be in love with God. Like, I want to find community, because I also understand you can't do this life alone. You need community. You feel me? The Bible says two is better than one. So after I found community and found the church, I decided to get baptized, and I did. And I feel like it was the greatest thing I could ever do. Like, I feel like that was the best thing I've ever chosen to do. And I feel like after that, God has been working, you know, in my life, and not just my situation, because, like, sometimes it will be like it's not working even when you continue to pray a lot. But God works, you know, even when you can't see it, even when you don't see things moving. I believe that God works, and I feel like God has been working in me, and he doesn't even have to be working in my situation. The fact that he is working in my life, like, all them days I cried, all them days I used to be so depressed while pregnant, and all them days I literally did not want to be alive. You know, I did not want to be in a situation where I was not going to be with my baby's father. Like, all them days, bro, I feel like I've been healed, and God is slowly restoring me. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, you know. I'm not saying I'm where I want to currently be, but I am saying that God is definitely, and the Spirit is definitely transforming me from the inside out, and is working in my life slowly but carefully, and working in my situation, and working in me. Like, I don't even know how to tell y'all this. Like, bro, it's beautiful what God could do, because all them days I used to cry, and now that I see where I'm at right now and have a healthy almost 6-month-old, like, it's crazy where God could bring you. It's crazy what God could do in your life, and I'm so thankful for where I've came. My message for everybody: don't ever underestimate God. Don't ever underestimate the cries and the prayers that you may be crying to him. I had days like that, bro. There was days where I was crying, and I was telling God, like, I was mad at God. I'm like, when things did not turn out the way I wanted to turn out, how I thought things were supposed to turn out, I was mad at God. I was crying to God. I was praying to God. Especially while I was pregnant, I was like, God, bro, what is the point? And now I'm starting to see the point. Now I'm starting to see, like, all of that was not for nothing. There was a reason for every single thing God does. And I want y'all to know that even the bad things in your life, God can still use that. God is a miracle worker. There's no limits when it comes to God. God could do all things. Like, he can turn your situation into good. He can do a lot. Don't underestimate God and what he is doing outside of it. Keep praying. I don't know y'all's situation, but keep praying. I'm here to testify that breakthrough happened for me, and I'm currently getting healed, and I'm currently being restored of every single thing I've lost in that pregnancy. Every tear I've cried, I'm being restored. And I pray that whoever's watching this, whatever you're going through, I want you to know that God is still working. God is still working in your situation. God is working in the inside. Sometimes things have to happen in order for God to show you bigger and better things. And sometimes I feel like you can pray for your will, but at the end, God's will always come to pass. Like, no matter what you do, God's will always come to pass. But we also have to learn to trust God, that his will is better than ours, and his will is better than our will and our desires. Thank you guys so much for watching. I pray that God touched you through my testimony, and love y'all, and thank you for watching. Peace, y'all.